Day. Donny Deutsch has a real problem with Medicare for all. Now, remember, he had said in the past that if Bernie Sanders is the nominee, he will vote for Donald Trump. And that, for a branding guy, he did not appreciate that Morning Joe is trying to pretend like they actually, they're just watching all this stuff happen from afar. And you're not supposed to say that you would support Donald Trump, even though I think there's a lot of those people who, at the very least, argue they will. Now, by a lot, I mean tens of thousands in places like New York and California or Florida. To be fair, Florida, they might have a little more implications there. A lot of those people go down there. They oddly spend 6 months out of the year, 6 months and a day out of the year, because of the sun gives you vitamin D and helps you fight off certain cancers. And also it allows you to escape income tax, state income tax.
Vitamin D means decreased taxes.
Exactly. Vitamin decreased taxes. But here is Donny Deutsch on the Real Time with Bill Maher program, talking about something he doesn't seem to have any clue about.
Might be seen as a way to help more Americans.
I'll tell you one thing, though. You tell 160 million Americans that they can't choose their private insurance, you're going to lose an election.
Right.
And these people are smoking crack. You know, forget about not even paying, being able to pay for it, $34 trillion. My grandfather was a cop, okay? And my mother was a school teacher, and they worked really hard to put me in a position where I can buy the kind of insurance I want. And if I can't, or the people on this panel, I can't buy it for my children, we are going backwards. We're fucking Denmark, okay? But remember the problem...
Okay, pause it for 1 second. First off, we're
fucking the best healthcare in the world, okay?
There is not a policy expert that you could find that wouldn't say, well, Denmark actually has, I think, objectively speaking, far better healthcare situation than we do. A. B, for all of Donny Deutsch's toughness with his dad, who was a cop, my understanding is, too, that also, by the time that he ended, was left Donny Deutsch millions of dollars in some Wall Street stuff. He started as a cop. It's not where you finish, necessarily. And I will also tell him that, guess what? Your father, when he was a cop, guess what he didn't have? Private health insurance. It was given to him through his union.
And his mom, who was a teacher.
And his teacher, right? Okay. Both of them making money off of the public dole. But whatever. That's good. I'm glad they were. You have to be so out of touch to think that 160 million people are going to be upset because they're not going to have their private insurance. I mean, I have a buddy who is a drug counselor, and he sees it on both ends. He sees it with his patients, and he sees it with his own family. He's like, I've heard you talk about private health insurance, saying it's horrible and this and that. You're underselling it. He says he sees so many people turned away who desperately need the treatment. And he also in a position where his private employer only pays his health insurance. So he's going to pay for the rest of the family out of his pocket. Nobody likes, well, no, I shouldn't say that. I am 100% sure that the vast majority of that 160 million people could give two Fs if they don't have private health insurance. They just want health insurance. In fact, they probably don't even want health insurance. They just want to be able to go to the doctor and see the doctor and not have to deal with the tremendous amount of hassle that's involved and the expense that's involved. Questioning whether they're going to get their health care. It's absurd. And Denmark, yes, fantastic health insurance. So,
including steadily increasing life expectancy. I think a woman's life expectancy is 82 years old as of 2015.
In Denmark?
Yes.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in that situation if those broads could have the same health care that my dad worked so hard to bequeath me as a trust fund baby.
Right, exactly. Like Like we should have, you know, it's one thing to say like, my dad worked very hard for that castle and he wanted to pass it down and keep it in the family. But the idea that like your legacy is being able to provide health care for your kid, what kind of effed up society are we living in? Like that's like I give you the family coat of arms. You're going to be able to get 85% of your surgery covered.
Guess
if you
what?
ever get
The
sick again.
vaccines,
Like honestly, like is this
the
really,
vaccines are fully covered, son.
is this something that we want as a society?
My grandfather was an Aetna man. My father was an Aetna man.
Yeah, no, but this is it. This is exactly right.
It's just an early version of this sentiment. This is from Glenn Greenwald's interview with Lula, where Lula says, you know, everybody made strides under my leadership, but because the airports became more egalitarian, rich people had a problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, check this out for a second.
Foi o único momento na história em que os mais pobres tiveram um crescimento percentual acima dos mais ricos. Não que os ricos não ganharam, mas que os pobres cresceram percentualmente mais. Foi a única vez e começou a incomodar. Você deve ter ouvido no aeroporto do Galeão, no aeroporto de Congonhas, o aeroporto parece uma rodoviária. Tá cheio de pobre aqui andando, gente que não sabia nem frequentar aeroporto.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. That's Donny Deutsch.
Similar attitude.